It's good to see you again. It's been so long since.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to say good morning to dear listener and viewer this lovely Tuesday morning, the 20th day in the month of August, the year 2024. This is Unity Trend on your radio. Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA in Jos North Plateau State, Nigeria. Ijiadamo is my name. You can call me Kobe and I will be just fine. This is your program and it comes your way every weekday, Mondays to Fridays. Once it is 8 o'clock on the dot in the morning, we start and never stop until it is 9:30 a.m. On this program, we stream live on Facebook and on YouTube. For Facebook, you can just connect with us at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. You can already go to our Facebook page, you like, comment. I'll get to read your comments just when the time comes. Thank you so much for always being there. And we have 3 segments to this very program. The first 30 minutes from 8 to 8:30 is a review. And from 8:30 to 9 is a transit, and then from 9 to 9:30 is where our listener and viewer gets to join the conversation and in fact take the lead. That's what it is. And this lovely Tuesday morning, it promises to be very, very interesting. This is because there are issues that I know you would love to hear about, and you would also be given the opportunity to tell us what else we need to know, and together we make this country, we make our own contributions to bringing about rapid development. Thank you so much for always being there, our dear listener and viewer. Okay, I have backlog, all right? There are lots of other messages, very, very important messages, of course. As usual, I will be able to read them. I will try as much as possible to read them before I collect the ones I have for this very morning. All right, in the studio, as usual, for Morning Ginger is Professor Paveno H. Bamayi. I'll be giving him the opportunity to say a very big good morning to our listener and viewer. And right now is the time. And I'm sure you have eaten something. Otherwise, you'll be asked if at all you've eaten this morning. Professor.
Yes, have you eaten? Let me begin with you. Suda.
Suda.
Eaten is Suda.
Suda.
Yes, thank God for that Malay language. Good morning, Kubi.
Good morning, sir.
Viewers and listeners, good morning. If you're in other parts of the world that is not morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're glad that you're part of this broadcast on 93.3 FM radio and Unity TV. Facebook, YouTube, by whatever means you're joining us. We are glad that you're here. Please invite your friends, well-wishers, colleagues, neighbors. Go online, go on social media, share a link with someone, tell them. We are on air on Unity FM Radio 93.3 and on Facebook, on YouTube. Tell them Unity Train is on. And we'll be taking a fantastic ride to a fantastic destination. Let me quickly remind you, those goals, those objectives, those dreams for 2024. How far so far have you gone? Today is already 20th August 2024. Before you know it, the year will soon come to an end. And then you will either be counting your gains, your profits, and celebrating, or God forbid, counting losses. But for you to celebrate at the end of the year, you must make sure your goals and objectives and dreams and visions are smart. Smart means they're specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Remember, as you're pursuing these goals and dreams and visions, whatever plans you have for 2024, you're going to meet resistance on the way, but your persistence will break every resistance. There will be opposition, there will be hindrances, there will be obstacles. You can use them as stepping stones to progress. Sometimes you feel like throwing in the towel. but don't give up. Winners don't quit. Quitters don't win. Times are tough, but tough times never last. It is tough people that do. You see, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. And that is why, no matter the situation, the circumstance you're passing through, don't you dare give up. Even when you seem to be failing, try again. Failure is not fatal. Success is not final. It is the will to continue that really counts. So I encourage you, perspire to acquire what you require in life. In case you do not acquire, don't retire, refire. Refire. You try, you fail, try again. If you fail, try again. Keep trying. You're never a failure until you give up. I encourage you, soldier on, push on. Keep pursuing that dream. It is those who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world that do, said Steve Jobs, a man that impacted his world during his time. So I encourage you, go out there, do something positive for humanity. Yesterday, the world celebrated the World Humanitarian Day. People who have given themselves all over the world to serve humanity. This year alone, 170 of them at least have lost their lives serving humanity all over the world. Please go out there, make a difference in somebody's life. Always remember, as always, to be the change that you want to see in the world.
All right, thank you so much, Professor Paveno H. for this wonderful morning ginger. Okay, of course, resistance, opposition, challenges, and all that. Don't you dare give up. For us, Unity FM Farm, we have encountered a very big resistance and challenge, but we are not giving up. And of course, in celebrating humanity, people who have been there to support humanity, to give wonderful contributions to improve lives. We cannot do this without celebrating Professor Pavena H. and of course Barrister Paul Zaruma, amongst others like Barrister Munir, Barrister Sam Talks, and the rest of them who always honor our invitations to be here, burning your fuel and spending your time, energy, knowledge, and all whatnots. We truly appreciate coming to the studio this morning. The amount of money I spent to be in the studio reminds me that how much more you people have been spending out of your busy schedule. You still find it worthy to spend just to be here and impact lives. We celebrate you. In the studio this morning, dear listener and viewer, Barrister Paul Zaruma is seated and is coming your way with another big good morning. Please stay tuned. Barrister, good morning.
A very big good morning to viewers and listeners. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are receiving this signal from. I don't know how your situation over there is, just is calm, peaceful, with a weather of about 21 degrees Celsius. Thank you for having me once again.
All right, thank you. I apologize, I would have to read these messages because it's one other aspect of this program that we really cannot do without. I was unable to read them yesterday. And so the first on my list this morning, even from yesterday, it says, good morning, Kobe, Barrister, and the Prof. Honestly, the problems of our country, Nigeria, is inexplicable. The government is never ready to quell all forms of bandit. As far as they are not involved, they don't care. I don't know what will be the fate of this country. Amy Longs from Agenge. A message from yesterday's edition of Unity Train. Another one says, good morning, Mr. Kobe, Professor and the Barrister. Honestly, we appreciate your great efforts for identifying problems and give out the solution. Indeed, insecurity is increasing due to neglecting the victims' helpless and allowing the criminal to survive. Thank you at Ismail Isa Jos. Thank you, Ismail Isa. From yesterday's messages, good morning, Kobe, and our amiable, consistent, and passionate analyst, Professor Bamayi, and objective analyst, Barrister Zaruma. It's so disheartening that the insecurity in the country is getting worse by the day. Honestly, our leaders don't care and don't want to do anything about it because they are surrounded by security while their citizens are kidnapped and killed each and every day. However, our leaders should for once have the political will to bring an end to this insecurity, staring us in the face. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM, Plateau State and Nigeria. Christy Izank from Rukubaro. And Adeomi says, good morning, Mr. Kobe and Barrister Zaruma. Of course, Prof. Bamayi, how will the issue of insecurity stop when there is no consequences or timeline for poor performance in the aspects of security? Any government who cannot provide security and guarantee the safety and well-being of its citizens is a failed government. The issue of insecurity in this nation is getting out of hand. May there be peace in our lands. Let's remember, development, infrastructure without security is nothing to write home about. God bless Nigeria. Adeomi from Bauchi Railroad. Still from yesterday's messages. Good morning, Kobe, Prof, and my boss, Barrister Paul Zaruma. Thank you for giving us the free lectures every day. May God bless you. Monday Tanko from Bida Bidi. Thank you, Monday Tanko from Bida Bidi. Still from yesterday. Good morning, Kobe. How are you and Madam? I hope you are fine. I believe you have a go back home yesterday. Yes, we're doing fine. And Unity FM. Okay, this is coming from Reverend Monday Nyenti. Okay, I visited a community actually in Bassa. I think this message is a follow-up to make sure that I and myself and my wife got back to Jos fine. So that is it from yesterday's messages. I think, gentlemen, let me just go to some of the headlines so we can get from responding to the text messages and as well as the issues we have this morning. Tragedy as kidnapped police officer found dead. You see, one of the messages, all the messages I read this morning talking about security issues, insecurity. Now, as if they know, today is another day, and the same issue they brought yesterday, we're still having it reflect in our national dailies today. Mpox, don't eat undercooked bush meat, doctors warn. Another one says, fuel scarcity, NNPCL begs Nigerians for understanding. ASU gives federal government 21-day strike notice. Mother, 5 children die after eating expired food in Kano. This and lots more, our dear listener viewer, is coming your way. Stay tuned and enjoy it. Gentlemen, let's just begin.
Well, could be, as I was coming this morning, another family of about 16 people died in Zamfara. Another family in Sokoto State. Another Kano State. One common denominator, food poisoning. One family, it was the soup. Another, the cassava, the maize. Another, the damwake. They consumed. One of the suspicion is that maybe a herbicide was used on some of these food items. Entire families were wiped out. In fact, one of the incidents, you have the husband, his wife, and all the children died as a result. In fact, I'm looking at the picture of one of them, husband, wife, children, dead after consuming cassava, the cassava meal, you know. And these are not just cases that we're just seeing today. This one is in Shagari local government, Sokoto State. We've had this over the years, but the intensity, the frequency seems to be increasing. The prevalence of this death as a result of food poisoning has drastically increased in recent times. Sometimes the victims are lucky that they survive, that they don't die. But in these particular cases, 1, 2, 3 states, we have casualties. And these are the ones that are even reported on the news. One of these, at least BBC has even carried it, you know. That's giving us international publicity, negative publicity. It tells you that the people are cooking expired cassava. The people are cooking food with herbicide on. It tells you that, do they really have a choice? If I have a choice, will I be eating that food? If they had a choice to eat some KFC food, to take some chicken and turkey and rice, you know, will they be eating this? They don't have a choice.
That's the question, Prof. Yes.
You see, because there is hunger in the land. The hunger in the land is real. That people are suffering hunger. And in the midst of all this, skyrocketing inflation, hyperinflation, galloping inflation, to worsen matters, insecurity has become the order of the day, which is one of the things that affects food security.
Yes.
Because if people cannot go to their farms and farm and harvest their crops, where are we going to get the food from? Are we going to get it from Niger Republic or Chad? They have their own challenges also. And then our currency has somersaulted.
It's been a while visiting that.
Niger's currency is stronger than Nigeria's currency. Republic of Chad, Republic of Cameroon, Benin Republic, all of them, their currency is stronger than Nigeria. Big brother Nigeria is just big by name, giant of Africa. They're just laughing at us. In fact, the woman was trying to buy some things at the border with Cameroon. And then she was wasting the time of the man. And the man said, if you're not ready to buy at this price, you can leave it. The Cameroonians are coming to buy it. They will come and buy it and cross the border and go and sell it in their own country at a higher price. When they come to buy things in Nigeria, things are so cheap for them because their currency is stronger than ours.
Yes, that's
so we have a hydra-headed problem in this country. In the midst of all this, what pains me most is that our leaders don't even seem to see it as a problem. Do you know that in the midst of all this problem, our president is in France, he has gone to Paris on the newly purchased plane, the Airbus A330 that was just recently purchased. He has jetted out of the country. In the midst of the chaos, the confusion, the suffering, the death of Nigerians, the hunger, the starvation, the food poisonings around the country, the president is out of the country. And we ask ourselves sometimes, do we really have a president? Do we really have leaders in this country? Do you know that some countries could be, I'm telling you, let 2 people in that country die of food poisoning, the president or prime minister will not go anywhere. It is already a national emergency. In Nigeria, it is normal. And these are the kind of leaders that will be begging us to vote for them. They will move from village to village, from local government to local government, city to city, all over the country. As soon as they come into office, they don't go again to see the people.
Is it because of our size as a people, as a country, that they say
China,
to whom much is given, much is expected?
China has a huge population, and they are doing fantastically well, over 1 billion. India has over 1 billion people. And they overcame the problem of open defecation within a short time because they took drastic measures. Nigeria is the headquarters of open defecation in the world. One of the worst cases of open defecation you can have on earth is in Nigeria. We don't have leaders that will take the bull by the horns. Why should Nigerians be starving? Why should we have hunger? Why should people be dying of poisoning? Why should people be eating expired cassava? In this country that is blessed with arable land, that if you travel from Maiduguri to Lagos, from Sokoto to Port Harcourt, from Abuja to Abakaliki, you can plant crops almost anywhere and they will grow in this country. Some of the countries we're talking about experience rain only 4 times in a whole year. Some of these countries, they have to create rain artificially. But yet, they have food security. They have food sufficiency. Yet, they're taking fantastic, wonderful, good care of their citizens. In fact, they have more than enough food that they throw into the ocean every year. But here in this country, with our arable land, with rainfall, can you count how many times it rains in a year in Nigeria? Countries, we are counting only 2, 3, 4 times in a whole year. In fact, the day they see rain, there will be celebration because it usually doesn't rain. But yet, by irrigation, they use technology and they grow their crops, they grow what they need, they use technology and they rear animals and they're food sufficient. But Nigeria, in the midst of plenty, we're dying in the midst of plenty. Why? Because we don't have visionary leaders who can use the vast potential wealth of this country to empower the citizens, to ensure we have food security and ensure physical security for the citizens. And this is what pains me most, when you are dying in the midst of plenty. If Nigeria was a desert, maybe we will understand. If Nigeria experiences rain only once in 5 years, maybe we will understand. If Nigeria did not have a single drop of oil, maybe we'll understand. If Nigeria did not have any mineral resources at all, maybe we will understand. But I can never understand how a country with vast mineral potentials, with oil, with arable land, blessed with rain, blessed with people that are brilliant, some of the best doctors on earth, best engineers on earth, captains of industries, people who are fantastic, geniuses and all that, how a nation like this can be dying in the midst of plenty beats my imagination.
How is it that, we are approaching our time for commercial break, but then let's see, you ended by saying dying, and so how is it that Nigeria is dying? Barrister, maybe this is not your question, but then let's hear a response before we go for the first commercial break.
I have said it over and over again, that Nigerians citizens were part of our problems.
Okay.
2027 is coming again. Once the candidates parade themselves, we will begin to look at various fault lines, tribal fault line, religious fault line, regional fault line, and so many different kind of fault line. But if we look beyond that, I think we will have a better country. I'm saying it for the 18th time that in 2023, most of the candidates that campaign in Nigeria, one of them stood out in terms of manifesto and issue-based campaign. But Nigerians threw their eyes off that candidate. In fact, it may interest you to know that one of the candidates, when he went to Kano, he said he had nothing to tell the people of Kano, that they should play music for him, let him dance. And they played music for him, he danced and danced and danced, and that was the end of that campaign. So you can see, if we are serious as a people, when a campaigning comes like this, we will elect people based on credibility and competence. But it's unfortunate that when campaign arrives, even yesterday I was listening to a religious leader who, last 2 weeks or so, he alleged that some of the spiritual leaders that campaigned for the president were bribed. And people started antagonizing him. Yesterday he did another video and said, look, I am a living evidence of that bribe. I benefited it. I partook from it. If you want to detail where and when and how much I received, I'm coming with another video. So you can see how they use religious fault line, tribal fault line, ethnic fault line has a campaign strategy. It is quite unfortunate. While people were gearing up for this End Bad Governance protest, some people were giving some citizens a notice to quit, either from their state or from their zone. You can see the kind of pattern the elite are using to divide Nigerians.
Okay. Thank you very much, Barrister and Professor. We'll go on a commercial break, dear listener and viewer. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs some love. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It a kill love, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
Thank you so much for staying tuned with us. And in case you are just joining us, dear listener and viewer, this is Unity Train on Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA in Jos North Plateau State, Nigeria. It's the Tuesday's edition of the program, actually. Ijadu remains my name. You can call me Kubi if that is okay, and it will just be okay by me too. In the studio, it has been Professor Paveno Hetsba Mayi and Barrister Paul Zaruma. And so this is the second segment, and we'll just continue to look at issues as we have them. Please, I beg that you don't go anywhere, because an opportunity is coming your way later on so that you can also join the conversation. But of course, you can already go to our Facebook page and drop your comments. I'll get to read them at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos on Facebook. And for text messages, just in case you would want to start drafting it already, it's 0808 478 9999. Thank you. Barrister, let's just go to you now. You were talking about politics?
Yeah. So, soonest 2027 is around the corner, people will forget about the sufferings, and people will be looking at those front lines that our politicians have been emphasizing for years.
Is it that we forget, or we are just committed to being tribalistic and all that?
We forget, because it's normally the propaganda, the mendacious propaganda, doesn't usually just come out of nothing, because you can't place something on nothing and expect it to stand. As they are spreading the mendacious propaganda, they are now accompanying it with some tokens. And then or bags of Maggi, bags of cartons of Maggi, bags of salt, and in some cases, depending on your status in the society, they will dish out cash. And the cash is also in level, also depending on the hierarchy. So you can see these are some of the front line that these politicians are emphasizing. They will not just like the religious leader I was making reference to. You know, he said he said that he is a living witness, that he is a direct, both constructive evidence that he accepted that money. He said he have details, and today he said he is regretting. But the problem is that they have so impoverished Nigerians that when 2027 comes around, or any election for that matter, Nigerians are quickly they will forget once they give them tokens. And then another issue that we have as a country, another monster that we have, is our electioneering process, particularly INEC. The other time I was talking about the SECs, the various state independent electoral commissions. But it's not as if INEC is a saint, or INEC is perfect, or INEC. If INEC is doing the right thing, people wouldn't be flooding to courts the way we have been having in the history of this country. INEC hardly conduct any election that people will not go to court. And I was listening to one of the retired justices of Supreme Court. You know, she was saying that immediately they gave the landmark decision of Anambra State, that immediately the politicians now realizes that, okay, judiciary, they have such kind of power in the democratic process. And since then, they started planting their sisters, their children, their in-laws, and so into the corridors of the judicial temple. And most of them has went there to pollute the sacred temple of justice. Be that as it may, if INEC will conduct credible election, competent election, then we will have credible leaders. But so long as INEC will not conduct credible election, whoever Nigerians say they want, even if he's a rock, give them. Even if it's whatever, if Nigerians say this is the person they want, give them. And then again, we may not have time to look at the election issues. If we come back to various state sec that we say that the INEC is even better off than them, that is why many Nigerians are agitating that INEC should conduct local government elections, because as long as Nigerians are concerned, INEC is a lesser devil compared to the various state sec. Now, there is one unfortunate trend that is going. The antecedent was laid by one of the northern states in the recent election. If you want to silence the opposition, after the person wins primary, then you hype the price of obtaining nomination from the electoral commission. and unfortunately it worked for them. And then, more unfortunately, many other state governors have adopted that formula.
Okay.
Or can I not state governors, many other state sec have adopted that formula. And that is what is happening. For instance now, it is reported from quarters now. If you don't have, there are so many people who have won their primaries in various political parties in Kano, but they cannot register because they don't have 2 million per councillor and 5 million for a local government chairman.
Yes.
Yeah, so this has made it impracticable for a poor man to go. It has further made the elites to hijack the process, the political serene. So even the local government, and you know why this thing is coming? Because of the independence that President Tinubu has given to the local government now. So those big shots want to come down and hijack both councillorship position and chairmanship position at various local government as well as various wards. Now, if you look at what is the trajectory, is a very dangerous trend. For instance, now in Plateau State, we have also adopted the same formula. For if you win a councillorship in your party, you will need to go to the SEC, to PLASEC, and register with 600,000 naira. Yes. A councillor. There are many of these councillors that have won in various political parties that cannot be able to register. So if the people like them, the people cannot have, they will have lesser choice or lesser option. And that's why we say in democracy, the beauty of it is its objectivity, not subjectivity. Because the circumstances that we are grappling with now is that you are subjecting Platoonians to a very few people, money bags, instead of having many options where they can choose, wherein they can choose from. But now you are subjecting them to a narrowed option, because many parties, let me tell you what happened. We have been saying the good things that the member representing Just Not Honorable Dr. Adamu Aluyus has been doing. Yesterday, he had to support at least 13 people. Some of them he paid completely the 600,000 for them, and some of them who came late, he paid half of it. That's 300,000 per head.
Of the councillors?
Yes, of the councillors. For them to be able to register. Even at that, not all of them will be able to register. Because by the time you paid 300,000, you are left to go and hustle for another 300,000. Thereafter, you will also go to the Plateau State Inland Revenue Board for tax clearance. A group of people came to me, they said they love somebody, they want him to contest for councillorship, they want me to give them advice. I started from the monetary angle. The man said he will not continue again. Despite the fact that they love him.
The KK man that brought me yesterday also complained the same thing.
So you can see that, unlike before that it used to be, a KK Napep rider can become a councillor. But today, what they are making it look like, in fact, some professors cannot become a councillor, because now for you to even become a councillor in Plateau State, you must have at least 1 million. Because you are talking about within the range of 57,000 to 150,000 for registration, for tax clearance. Then you are talking about your own party membership nomination form and interest form, talking about 150,000 to 250 to 300,000, depending on the political party you are coming from. And then you are also now talking about 600,000 naira to register with PLASEC. So can you say that we are really serious and we want to be democratic in this country? There are many people, I'm telling you, more than 1/3 of the people that won their primaries in various political parties will not be able to participate in the general election because they don't have that 600,000 and maybe 750,000 to clear their tax and then also register with PLASEC. Can we really say that our democracy is growing or we are going backward? And all this is because the president has given the local government some level of autonomy, and then many people now the money bags want to go there and also hijack the local government. And once the local government system is hijacked, because it's the closest government to the people, it has been hijacked all this way by the state governors across the country. But now the president wants to liberate the local government. The state governors are now changing the tactics. Because you cannot tell me that one single member from a ruling party at a state level will be able will not be able to register. It's not true.
Okay, Barrister, you see, I think Professor is nodding his head. I think it's a mind-blowing revelations to Professor. I know he'll be speaking later on this issue. Now, I was in a village on Sunday. Somebody who won his primary as councillor, he was telling me, he said he has come to a point where he cannot continue or even step down, because the money he is expected to pay, again, it is so much so that he feels he will not be able to. This is someone whom has gone a long way already, thinking it's over, and now he said it's not practicable, it's not realistic that he'll be able to pay that money.
And that is the case of Plateau now. Now, if you look at Kano State, if you don't have 2 million, for instance, you cannot register as a councillor.
And another big problem with this is
and then if you borrow money, sell your asset, or even allow some godfathers to fund you, then you will become a puppet or a marionette in their hands. Yes. When you go there. And then if it is borrow money, as soon as you enter the office, then your debtors will begin to prowl over you. So you can see that you will not even be able to. And then normally, I don't know if there is a tenure adjustment, but for as long as the electoral law of Plateau State is concerned, they have only 3 years to stay in the office, except if the House of Assembly are able to amend it. But be that as it is too late for the House of Assembly to do the amendment, because the process of the electoral notice and other process that have already started working was under the old law. So you cannot at this point change the goalposts in the middle of the game.
We still in for a big deal.
Yeah, that's why you see they use the 3 years to loot, to steal, to get involved in corruption and all manner of things. Because if you spend millions to come into office, how would you recover the money without you putting your hands in some shady deals? And it is not as if when they come into office that they are going to have holiday. There is still pressure from their communities. People be coming every day expecting to receive from them. I was at the office of a member of the House of Assembly. I saw a long queue. They are waiting to see him. This one will enter. Once he's done with that one, another will enter. Once he's done, another will enter. And do you know the problem, all of them? School fees for my children. Hospital bills cannot be paid. I don't have food to eat. I have problem with my rent. It is one thing or the other. And they expect solution from that member of the House of Assembly. Now, are you telling me that that member is going to give those people money from, it is his salary that is given them?
There's no way.
How can his salary attend to 20 people a day? 30 people in one day, 50 people in one day. How can his salary attend to all the demands? A church will call him and say, come, we're doing a luncheon, come and donate. A community tribal group will say, come and donate. Family meeting, they will say, come, you're honorable, come and give us money. His age group, they will call him. His alma mater, they say, oh, you're from this school, come, donate money. Everywhere they're looking for money, left, right, and center. How would that politician survive? You see, that is why we are also the architect of our own problems. We are pushing these politicians to corruption. A politician came out the other day and said, look, when I went into politics, I was very sincere. I wanted to serve the people. I wanted to do the right thing. But the people corrupted me. There was no way I could survive with the salary I was receiving without stealing money to give them. And they asked him and said, well, do you have to do that? Can't you just refuse to do it? He said, if I don't do it, they will not vote for me next time. And I want to return back. They are not going to vote for me. He said, look, let me tell you, I guarantee you that if I don't go and give money, spray money, give money in my community, they are not going to vote for me. No matter what I've done for them, they will not vote for me next time. They will say, stingy politician. Yes. He has not even, he doesn't give money. This one, he's a kleptomania. Oh, this one, he has aradide hands, you know. He doesn't release money to people, you know, and all that. They will blackmail him and he will not come back because he wants to come back. So he has to compromise. So I think that we, the citizens, we should be talking to ourselves. we should have this introspection and say, what role are we playing in making the system corrupt? Now let's come back to the system. Why are the political parties making their tickets so expensive? Why do you put all this, price or whatever fee left, right and center? And why will an independent electoral commission get involved in putting amount of money for people to pay? Whether it's at the registration, a tax clearance, or whatever it is, by whatever name it is called. It is not good for our system. Let's go to where we borrow this democracy from. They even have independent candidates that don't belong to any party. They have people that don't have money and they go there and the people want them and they sponsor them and they even reach the highest position in the land. If it was in Nigeria, Barack Obama will never have become president. Because who knows? Poor Barack Obama. Barack Obama, the first woman he was supposed to marry, did not marry him because he was a poor man. He didn't have much. And the wife he ended up married him, some degree of reluctance. She never knew he'd become great. And at the time, he came out aspiring to become president of the United States. He was just a representative. And he didn't stand a chance. But the people rallied around him, supported him, even raised money for him and and all that. And before you know it, he broke history and became the first African American to become the president of the United States of America. In Nigeria, can it happen? They will be asking, who is your godfather? Who knows you here? Where are you coming from? Who are you? What is your pedigree? And all that. What is your religion? What is your tribe? Who is your grandfather? Who are your ancestors? And so many things. So all these fees left, right and center ought not to be. What do they need that money for? What are you going to do with all that money? Why is it that a poor man cannot become an ordinary councillor? I don't see any reason why nomination forms should not be free. If they are not free, at least make it 10,000 naira. Maybe you need some small money to buy water and drink, and because you use money to print the form. But why put an exorbitant price? By doing that, you are automatically saying that you don't want some categories of people to ever lead in this country. You're cutting off categories, and that is prejudicial, that is segregative. That is not democracy. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But by the time you begin to attach so much money to it, you're saying that people who are poor can never lead in this country. They should just remain slaves and be ruled by the mighty, by the wealthy, perpetually in this country.
Okay, Prof, let's just see this tragedy as kidnapped police officer found that there's an update. Okay, monkeypox, don't eat undercooked bush meat, doctors warn. And this one is about fuel scarcity. NNPCL begs Nigerians for understanding. And ASU gives the federal government 21 days strike notice. That's it. 5 children die after eating expired food in Kano.
Could be when this price of petrol was increased last year, when fuel subsidy was removed, so-called. Because now they're telling us that there is still subsidy. And this is the same story we've been hearing for 30 years. Even more than 30 years. In fact, it started right since the time of IBB. They will say, okay, we'll remove subsidy. They'll say, okay, we'll remove the small, we'll leave some. And it continued. I keep wondering, what kind of subsidy have we been removing for 30 years that we've not finished removing? Finally, last year, they said they have removed subsidy. Subsidy is gone, proclaimed the president. And then, wow, 3 times 300% increase in fuel price. From 179 naira NNPC depot per liter, it went to 617 at the NNPC petrol stations. Other petrol stations were selling at 185, 190, 195. It went to 650, 700, 750, and all the rest. And then the petrol stations were abandoned. In fact, I remember that time when I go sometimes with just stay and gist with the attendants and just talk with them because people are not coming to buy petrol. And they will even be saying, hey, Oga, put full tank. I say, no, there is no money for full tank. Now who puts full tank? In fact, if you put full tank, we'll be suspecting you. But the queues are back, could be. At that time, they say is the solution. There will not be queues in our petrol stations anymore. Today, petrol, in that, I don't want to call their name, here within just 950 naira per liter as of yesterday. But there are queues there, even for 950. So, removing the subsidy or not removing has not even solved the problem. You said if remove subsidy, as long as the petrol is not available, we'll continue to have problem of these queues. Okay. So we need to solve the problem of this artificial scarcity of petrol in our country. The president said his target is to ensure that we produce at least 2.2 million barrels a day. Now they have announced that we are producing up to 1.6 million barrels a day. Where is it? Are we seeing the petrol? 1.6 million barrels per day, and yet it cannot serve us as a country. Okay. So there is a fundamental problem when it comes to fuel scarcity in this country if it is not addressed. Even if the cost of petrol is 2,000 naira per liter, we will still be having queues all over the country, as we're having now, especially Lagos, Abuja, and some of the big cities. I had cautioned on this platform that, look, we're going to buy petrol at 1,000 naira per liter in filling stations. Now it is happening. At that time, some people laughed. They felt it was impossible. Now, here in Jos, it is happening. And yet there is still scarcity. Even with your money, you cannot even get the petrol. That is a problem. Why? Because we have not put in concrete measures to solve the fuel problem. We have Dangote refinery. Why are we not giving him crude to refine and serve the country? Now, some people want to go and refine outside the country and bring it, and they're frustrating anything that has to do with refining this crude within the country. Why? Because of their pecuniary avarice, their greed. Because they are so selfish that they want to be making money at the expense of Nigerians. And this is not a good thing. The government should put a stop to this once and for all.
Okay. Like recently, they have, after pressure from both electronic, social, and print media, they have decided to sell crude oil to Dangote. Initially, you know, after the whole uproar, they said they will sell fuel to, crude oil to Dangote at with American dollars. Then Nigerians also, there was also a second round of uproar from both electronic and print media, which also pressurized them to sell crude oil to Dangote in Naira. So you can see this is hypocritic. You have been selling crude oil in USD, and you are now telling other Nigerians that the economy has been dollarized. The economy has been dollarized. You are the people dollarizing the economy. So you can see that Dangote, the emergence of Dangote refinery is exposing so many things. Be that as it may, there is also another part of the agreement that Dangote will start selling his product by September this year. So we pray, this September is just next month, we pray that this thing work out too, so that it will cushion the effect of this suffering. Regarding the police officer that whose dead body was found, he was kidnapped recently, we reported here in this platform, at a company area of Waseluku government of Plateau State. He was among other people with his military colleague in a joint operation, and they were unfortunately ambushed by these terrorists, and then so the soldiers that were there were able to escape, and some other colleagues also, but fortune did not smile at him. He was eventually kidnapped, and unfortunately, just like we have been saying, instead of the security to release all the arsenals to go after these kidnappers, they know them, they have been mentioning the forest where these kidnappers are. They allowed this man that was serving his country to die just like that. And now only God knows what will befall his family. Only God. Now to get either pension, gratuity, or other benefit, death benefit generally, they will subject to the family to another untold hardship. God forbid. We are praying that they should do the needful concerning his family. And these are some of the things that are serving as demotivators for some of these officers. They don't feel motivated to do to serve this country. So we send our condolence to the Commissioner of Police, Plateau State. We also send our condolence to the IG. We also send our condolence particularly to the family of that fine police officer that died in the course of serving his country, and we are calling on the relevant authorities to do the needful in cushioning the effect of his loss to the family, as well as make sure that these terrorists that are hiding there in Wase, local government area and other parts of Plateau State be rooted out. There should be deliberate effort. Then lastly, I also want to lend my voice to what Prof. Elias stated about, opposition party made a press release yesterday concerning the presidential jet that the presidency insisted on purchasing in the midst of this hardship. Now, I was also looking at the video of Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, where he launched latest SUV for medical doctors, medical doctors, yes, and then yes, not politicians, for medical doctors. While he came to that ceremony with a 2013 Land Rover. While he during the ceremony he launched the latest SUV with well equipped. And BBC asked him and said, "Why are you doing that to your people?" He said, "And then you are not driving that kind of car." He said he thinks the doctors need it more because we want them to go to the trenches and touch life. And in that documentary, he also launched a mobile ambulance, and he said that he doesn't need those mobile ambulances, that the citizens of Burkina Faso need those ambulances. Okay. Can you imagine? And that is where we are talking about cutting the cost of governance. Okay. You cannot be talking about presidential jets at this point, at this time around that Nigerians are suffering. You cannot be talking about renovating the National Assembly that does not need renovation. You cannot be talking about buying SUV for members of the National Assembly. He said, the president said in that BBC interview that his movement is limited. He said, but these doctors will go to the villages. They will go to the trenches. He said they need it more than him. All right. And can we have leaders that will make this kind of sacrifice? And I tell you, and I keep saying it, and I'm saying for the opt-in time, that during the 2023 election, you can see one admirable, manifesto. But others, they are only talking about talking about religion and so many other things.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister and Professor. Our listener and viewer, it's time for a commercial break. We'll be right back after it. Please stay tuned.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It kill love, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
TV.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here.
I say welcome back. Okay, this is the last segment and I'm particularly very happy. The reason is because it's time for you to join the conversation, be a part of it, and in fact take the lead. So you can just call me on 070-3235-3315, and for text messages it's 0808-478-9999. Don't forget, it's Unity Trend on your radio, and it's coming your way via this radio station, Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA in Jos North Plateau State, Nigeria. We are also on satellite TV, and we are as well on YouTube and Facebook. All right, in the studio it has been, earlier on was Professor Bavena H. Bamayi. I still have in the studio this morning Barrister Paul Zaruma. And it's your time, so the studio line is put in. Remember, comments made on this platform and not in any way the position of Unity 93.3 FM. And so if you call, just tell me your name and location. In 1 minute, let's have your submissions. And all of this you do without having to throw in comments or statements that are capable of undermining any individual or group of individuals. So please stay away from name calling, profiling, and all whatnot. What we do here, we try to promote the idea of peaceful coexistence, not only on the plateau, but of course, Nigeria and the world over. Barrister, let's just start picking calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Thank you so much. Your name?
Dr. Bamiji and Dr. Zaruma.
Yes, Barrister, actually. You're
Dr.
welcome.
Zaruma, rather, sorry for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes, my name is Yongti of Donkasa.
All right, Pastor Yongti, let's have you.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate Prof and Barrister for taking their time to analyze these issues. I want Nigerians to keep on engaging with present administration. You understand? Because it is not easy for people to vote a leader into power. The reason why we have found ourselves into this quagmire is because we have leaders who doesn't have Nigeria at heart. Leaders who only think of themselves, their families and friends. That's why we are crying, Nigerians are lamenting.
All right.
And the only way out is, we are not even talking about election, because it's so painful when you elect, when you make your choice of a leader and you get to find out that it's not what you voted for that is good to you. I have people, as a journalist, I'm a practicing journalist by study. I interview so many people, they tell me that they don't even want to go out and vote come 2017 because they have made their choice and they didn't allow their choice to prevail. So what is the need of even going out to vote again? So others have left for us.
Okay.
I think the right thing needs to be done if we must move ahead.
All right.
Nigeria is due for change, but we just have to do the right thing to actualize that change. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much, Pastor Young T. Henry. Okay, on Facebook we have Emmanuel Mary. How do you say good morning? Unity FM watching you live from Kampala, Henry Rukuba Road. Yes, thank you. And Daniel comes say good morning, watching you live from Ahafo, Kenyasi, North Jericho, Ghana. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much. It's lovely sometimes when you hear people following from far away and even as far as Ghana. That's lovely. Okay, you can connect with us via our studio line is 07032353315. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kofi.
Thank you for calling.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is Benedict calling you from Kenya.
Okay, Benedict, let's have you in 1 minute, please.
In 1 minute, sir. The prof and barrister is actually speak about the issue of oil subsidy in Nigeria.
All right.
When prof was actually analyzing the issue of oil subsidy, and from the time of the military regime, I was listening to him with interest. I want to learn more concerning the issue of fuel subsidy. Because at that particular time of the military, I was still a little bit, but I was still need to understand that our parents took years to go and get this fuel. They wake up sometimes and tell me that they want to go and look for fuel.
All right.
The same thing is still happening today. 30 years after, the 30 years that I had been saying that. I have a question to ask. I wish that somebody is going to answer this question.
Okay.
The federal government, 29th of May 2023, I know that the fuel subsidy has come. From that particular minute, that particular second, the president of the PNS, inside in the civil stations, in the government-owned filling station and the private-owned filling stations, the president has from the 190 something naira usually buy, you have 360 naira, and for 360 naira to 600 naira today. You are buying for 1,000 naira, and what if you check the top? If you buy in the gallon to check what the cost, it's actually telling you that buying at 1,100 naira.
Okay.
The market is saying that you some of the position here. They are hearing me and saying this to myself. And again, let me ask a question. In this particular issue again, we are beginning to get in the position in the new media that the first subsidy has come back again. The federal government is paying fuel subsidy again at the price of 600 and 15 naira per liter. That is the official price at 615 naira per liter, and we are still talking about after the increment of about 300 and 350% increase.
All right. Thank you.
The federal government is coming to Nigeria again, and they are using taxpayers' money again to pay for fuel subsidy again, even in the midst of this particular amount of money for about 600 naira. I think there's insincerity in this particular issue, and that's the reason why people like me will say, let the president of Nigeria come to explain to Nigerians what he has used the subsidy of the subsidy remover, the money he has taken from subsidy remover, explain to Nigerians what he has achieved with it. I don't want to.
All right, thank you, Mr. Benedict.
I don't want to hear that you're giving it to the governors. The governors, we are not seeing the details. Positive effect from this removal of fuel subsidy, even from the governors. And again, I also want to add, I think the person of secretary, let him be the case of his victims. And again, answer the next question, let him answer questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benedict. Thank you. We appreciate.
Honestly, I don't really think that the threat to Nigeria that was paying subsidy and the price of 1,100 naira is really unfair. Nigeria should speak up. That's my take. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. 070
That's a wonderful contribution.
3235-3315. Yes, wonderful contributions always. And it's just the issue of time. Else we would allow our caller to take it all because their contributions actually is wonderful. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Thank you. Your name?
My name is Bashir. One time, calling from Jos.
Bashir, you have a minute. Please go on.
Thank you very much, Professor and the barrister.
You're welcome.
We are benefiting from your knowledge.
You're welcome.
Every day. So my opinion is about the local government election.
All right.
You know, this election, is a game of winning and lose. And election is a game of majority.
Is that?
So what I want to contribute in this issue, if people of Nigeria their demand, whosoever will give it to him and go to do something.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, 070-3235-3315. That's the studio line. And for text messages, please 0808-478-9999. On Facebook at Unity Radio FM/TVJOS. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, P.G.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Professor in the house. My name is Nahude Dios, calling from Terminus.
Nahude Dios from the city of Jos. Mr. Kingsley.
My brother, I see what I want to say this morning.
Go on, please.
I disagree with our guest because when the youth of Nigeria we voted, the barristers and the NPA, they will not select. You understand? So you can't blame the youth. We are trying our best to vote, but when we vote, now INEC and the barristers, they will not
select,
not select, but we will. Secondly, you see the way Nigeria government are punishing us by fuel to park our car. Now China have told them that we are parking our own car, let them park their own jets. So you see, it's one. God will help us in this country.
Thank you.
God bless our country, bless our Plateau State.
Okay.
Thank you.
According to Nahude Duos this morning, theirs is to elect and barristers is to select. Of course, if all you have is taken to the courts, of course, you will have to go through that process as well.
Yes, when you are talking about rigging election, it is in stages. So just like we earlier stated in the beginning of the discussion, that after some landmark court decisions in the past that brought in the likes of Peter Obi and the likes as a governor of Anambra State and Adams Oshomole as governor of Edo State from minority political parties to take back power, the politician now realizes that the judiciary also is powerful. And since then they started plotting against the judiciary, and the judiciary has fallen into their bait. So we are saying the same thing with him, and then we are also challenging leaders of conscience in this country that whatever responsibility you are saddled with during election, you should make sure you do the right thing according to fear of God.
Okay, well, that is not to say we undermine the good role played by the judiciary. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And I'm greeting my president and the vice president. Professor and the vice.
All right, the answers. So let's hear from you.
You are my mentors. You are my participants. You are my everything. God will continue to say.
Thank you. We appreciate.
And God will see you through all that you are, trying to see how the country will come to stay.
All right.
Amen. The people that you that we want to say.
All right.
God will continue to protect you.
Amen.
Never the bandits will never any form of evil. Never have any mistake on the fear of behavior.
All right.
After saying that, I don't know if our leaders, if they are, I'm sorry to use this language, if they are after mandate, because they think they will live for 1,000 years like Mexico. They not think that they will meet their God. Look at how people are dying as a result of food poisoning. Because you eat what they see, you don't what they want. But the beauty of it is that God.
All right.
God will do what He needs to do at the appropriate time.
All right.
I wanted to ask, I heard the rumor that they remove the subsidy. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
An enlightenment from the professor and the Bible.
It's okay. Thank you very much. All right, text messages very quickly. Good morning, Mr. Kobe, Professor and the barrister. Sincerely, you speak in the truth. Nigeria is the only country that have resources in abundance, but its people die in hunger because the gap between the representatives and the other leaders is too wild. Okay, surely most of our leaders are just adding wealth into their wealth, not serving their people to the promised land or taking them to the promised land. Thank you at Ismail Isa from Jos at Ismail. Thank you. And Daniel Adams say good morning, Unity FM, Kobe, barrister and Professor Bami, thank you for the morning motivations. May God guide and protect you all. Okay, I think I have not gotten that well. But then, Daniel, thank you for that one. Good morning, Kubi and amiable, consistent and passionate analyst, Professor Babayi and objective Barrister Zaruma. God bless, strengthen and sustain you as you keep informing and educating us with wonderful and objective analysis. It baffles me that the president will buy such a private jet when people are dying in hunger and abject poverty. Honestly, our leaders are selfish, inconsiderate, and insensitive. Please, Madam Christie, I know how it feels. If only I knew, I probably would not have read this on air. I apologize for reading this in such a way. But then, you have made it clear that some... Thank you. I can only pray that God will turn them around to be selfless, yes, amen, in service and to be filled with wisdom. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM, Nigeria and Plateau State. I'm Christy Zam from Bukubaro. Thank you for ending that with prayers that God will turn our leaders, whom, of course, you feel are to be selfless. All right, good morning, Kubi and Barrister and the Prof. You people have spoken well. Nigeria lacks visionary leaders. Only one thing remains now is to advertise Nigeria for sale. No, nothing seems to go well now and even the future. Amy Longs from Agingi. Amy Longs from Agingi. Advertise this country? No. We love this country, and of course, we have great leaders, people who are doing great in that. And so, we too will not give up in this country, and of course, our leaders. Good morning, Kubi and Prof. B, Barrister Z, and intelligent viewers and listeners. A finger that wipes away our tears in hard times is greater than the thousands of hands that claps for our success. May Allah make things easier for us. May God have mercy on our country, Nigeria. Have a productive days. Be a good neighbor. Hassan Garba. Thank you, Hassan Garba, for that. And another one, good morning, Kubi. Quite unfortunate that the President Tinubu promised Nigerians a hope, but reverse is the case. Imagine the price of food items. When will the masses benefit from our government? Deomi from Bauchi. Thank you, Deomi. I think there's the much we'll be able to take for text messages this morning, except otherwise.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Sadiq Umar. I'm calling from City and Junction.
That's beautiful. You have a minute, Sadiq Umar.
Yeah, I will comment to the Prof in the house. He has spoken very, very well, and he has enlightened us about the issues that have been raised.
All right.
Today, my comment this morning is the issue of the President married a jet after the Chinese have the Nigerian jet. You see, this is an unfortunate issue, situation compared to the issues happening in Nigeria. In the kind of banditry, the kind of the kidnapping, the kind of the economical situation. But you see, the president is no more concerned about what's happening in Nigeria. It's about his personal interest. Because my probably get it work for Nigeria to get his own personality. So you see, the president has to understand that the people are voting to tell the people. If the government have failed to give the people security, I think the government has failed totally. So we are calling on the president to look at the chickens that have been kidnapped and some doctors that have been kidnapped and some Nigerians that are under these kidnappers so that they can do the needful and release them. And you should look at the economical situation, especially the of this process that is going with the issue of this subsidy. But not taking any chairman as a man that stands for the people. NLP is only the group that stands for the people in the government. So why is the government against it? Because of the process that the Nigerians have been frustrated. This is very complex.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sadiq Umar. Okay, 070-3235-3315. For text message 0808-478-9999. Okay, it's almost time for us to now start responding to all this and see how we'll be able to cap up before we say bye-bye finally. Barrister, let's hear what we have to say. There's this question that was given. I don't know if we'll be able to remember that. But then, still about politics, I still wonder if...
Yes, the question on subsidy, I'm also asking the same question. And I think the federal government are in a better position, particularly the group managing director of the NNPC and the petroleum minister, are in a better position to respond to that question, because I cannot see where you told us the era of subsidy was gone last year.
Barrister. Yeah. Okay. All right. There's a call here. I just wanted us to give it attention. But then it's almost time. If we don't take it now, we might not be able to take it again. So still on Facebook, the network is not really supporting. So please, if for any reason I'm not able to reach out all of your comments on Facebook, I truly apologize. If time permits, by tomorrow, God's willing, we'll find a way of doing so. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
I'm fine, sir.
Thank you. Your name? All right, let's have you in 1 minute, please. This is Unity Trend.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I think that was just a call to say thank you, Barrister and Professor. So, Barrister, over to you.
I also, just like I was saying, I think the group managing director and of the NNPCL and also the petroleum minister should have been better position to answer that question, because even me, I'm asking the same question. Why can't, they told us that the era of subsidy was gone last year, and the official rate was at 6 something, and then today you are now telling us that we are also enjoying subsidy once again, and then we cannot even access the product at 9 something, just like Benedict rightly pointed out, because by the time you buy, you see what you see on the pump, you will see 950, 920. It's all false. It's all deceit. But at the end of the day, you are subscribing to the product at 1,000 plus, depending on the filling station you are patronizing. So you can see it is an unfortunate development, and the Nigerian economy is a mono economy, is an oil-driven economy. And once the prices of oil is going up, that's how the pricing of other commodities will be skyrocketing. Because even our transport system is also an oil-driven transport system. How many rail transport systems do we have? How many sea transport systems do we have across the country? So we are narrowed down. So it is an oil-driven economy. And once the price of oil goes down, because for instance, if you are bringing in items from Lagos, the price will not remain the same. If you are moving items from here, maybe farm produce from Plateau State to some other part of the country, you know, the prices, you will pay for transport. And then how much is even the price of a tire, for instance, for some of these trucks? So you can see that as long as the price of oil keep going up, then it will also has a ripple effect on other aspects of the economy. And if our government did not do something, and then also coupled with the fact that we are having a lot of floods all over the country, particularly it was recorded that we have in about 10 states in northern Nigeria, which have also washed farmings away, a lot of farmlands away. It is also definitely, invariably going to affect economic, farm produce in the next couple of months. Right. So you can see that this we also have, apart from other social security issues we also have food security to grapple with. So it's quite unfortunate. But I want to encourage Nigerians that there is hope for this country, since we still have best brains, we still have good people in Nigeria, we still have the human and natural resources deposited in this country, and then also our diversity should not be a fault line. Our diversity should be a purpose that will give us a kind of a variety.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister. Thank you. I truly appreciate you. On behalf of our listener and viewer, thank you. Thank you so much. And I pray that God will continue to, increase you. Of course, Barrister and Professor, and all of you, Barrister Barrow and Barrister Sam Talks, and Dr. Ismail, and the rest of you who would always honor our invitation to be in the studio. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate you, dear listener and viewer, and also Mr. Nazifi Abdullahi, Director of Programs and Operations, Director of Admins, Mr. Rabiu Abdullahi, and our GSM Shamsuddin Kabir, DJ Bass, and of course Engineer Tichani. I'll see you tomorrow, God's willing. But before then, don't forget, Afizere Community Broadcast is coming your way after this, and then Radio Abebo is coming your way with On the Road. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. From me, Cool B, I say bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.